Today, we're going to see if we can get the Studebaker to run for the first time in possibly 50 years. Previously, we did manage to get it to pop off with some starting fluid. I found that somebody already disconnected the fuel line, so I stuck that in a bottle of fuel. We'll see if the diaphragm in that fuel pump's actually any good. Kind of doubt it. But, let's see what happens. That didn't appear to be pumping any. The diaphragm is either bad or we weren't cranking over fast enough, both very much possible. So what I ended up doing is just pouring some gas down the inlet there to fill up the float. So hopefully there'll be enough gas to let this run for more than, well, a quarter of a second. Okay, so you saw it run. The issue is that was way too much smoke for this engine. Now, the exhausts are rusted off after the headers on both sides, so that's why the smoke was coming up here and not at the end. But, obviously, we shouldn't have that much smoke. I'm going to put a compression check on these cylinders, see how many cylinders are completely dead. I do know that these middle two were originally very low, so hopefully they've gained a little back, but I have a feeling we're going for a full rebuild on this motor. Cylinder 1, we got about 120. You know what? That's good enough. Much less good. We're looking at about 70 psi. Better than I was expecting, to be honest, but far from good. A weirdly similar 70 psi. Less than I was hoping, but 90. Rear passenger 120. Okay, that's good. Now we're going down. We're about 100 on that cylinder. Okay, so about 100 on that cylinder. One more to go. And the 120 on this front one. So it looks like, weirdly, the middle two on both sides are the lower ones. I'm wondering if the head gasket isn't going bad between the two cylinders, or if we have some other issue. Could be valves, could be piston rings, could be any number of things. The motor could be trash, but ultimately, these numbers are better than I was expecting. When this first freed up, I'm pretty sure I had a roughly 30 and roughly 0 on those two cylinders, so we've gained a good bit of compression back, and I think, honestly, the more we turn this thing over, the more it'll free up, the more we'll get a little bit more compression out of the rest of these cylinders. But it seems like we have 3 good, 3, that's not great, and 2, that's not good at all. But, hey, it runs, kind of.